There's always a problem, and the problem has a solution. So the solution is typically an invention. So I like to solve problems, and I know how to spot an idea and shape an idea into something that you can actually get a patent out of. Hi, I'm Mike DeLuca. I am an inventor, an electrical engineer, and a patent attorney. Oh gee, I think I started inventing when I was a little kid. You know, I invent things regularly. I would sit in bed and read, and holding your book was always a problem, so I invented an arm that attached to the wall and swung out over my bed so I could rest my book and read there. That was a very early invention. When I was a very young child, I drew a picture of my favorite invention, which was a flying car. Of course, that was a picture. Nobody's actually made the flying car yet. As a child, my father was in the Air Force, and so I spent all my childhood all the way through high school as an Air Force kid. So that means we moved about every 3 to 6 years. We had a very large family. I had 7 brothers and sisters, and so we all traveled together. But one of our bases was the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, and I was in grade school when we were there. And the really nice thing about that particular base was the Air Force Museum was there. So I'd actually spend 2 to 3 hours a day there for years, just looking at the airplanes, watching the evolution of technology from the Wright brothers all the way to the supersonic transport planes. It was fantastic. I think it actually set the stage for my career to be an inventor, because you could watch the progress of this technology, and I was really exposed to it, so I thought it was fascinating. My father eventually worked at the Pentagon, and we were in Virginia. So I actually got my engineering degree from Virginia Tech. When I graduated, I got an offer from Motorola in Plantation, Florida, and then we've been here virtually ever since. So I could just kind of jump ahead, but while I was at Motorola, I was inventing quite a bit. Well, you know, like I have 150 patents now, and you know, they're in a lot of different areas, but on one of them that we did is a way for computerized devices like cell phones and laptops to significantly save a lot of power, make their batteries last a lot longer. That is used in virtually every cell phone and every laptop today. It was a very small thing when we first thought of it, because back in the 80s we were just doing work for pagers, because pager cell phones really hadn't been invented yet. And we were trying to figure out how to get these pagers to have batteries that would last a lot longer. Most people that use computers, you realize that the computers, they only run fast 2 to 3% of the time, and the rest of the time they're virtually sleeping. So we figured out how to get their sleeping power down really low. We came up with this idea called voltage scaling that allowed the computer to run at a high voltage quickly and run at a low voltage slowly, and there's a lot of things you have to do to make sure that that system works, and then we went ahead and built it. My co-inventor, Mario Rivas, had a lot to do with helping us implement this. Mario was more on the semiconductor side, and I was more on the process and how does all of the system work side. But together we pushed this through the system, and eventually that approach got picked up by all cell phones and laptops, and it's what helps make things last so long today. These inventions, they were not only invented here in Florida, but the products that they went into were designed here in Florida, and they were actually manufactured here in Florida also. And then they were exported all over the world, from right here from Florida. We kept all of that manufacturing here in Florida, all the employment here in Florida, and all the worldwide sales came right out of Florida. It really helped in the employment of Florida quite a bit. It really feels great. Any cell phone I look at, I know that my invention is sitting at the core of that. And when every laptop I look at, I know it's sitting at the core of it. And the batteries are significantly smaller, and they're significantly lighter, and that everybody gets to use that technology. And that just makes me feel good to see my idea making other people's lives better.